The alien ship hovered silently above the small human settlement, its silver hull glinting in the faint sunlight. The cargo bay opened with a soft hiss, and the alien bride stepped out carefully, her eyes scanning the unfamiliar surroundings. She had been prepared for a grand mansion, a bustling household, humans ready to greet her with respect and wonder. But this was not what she expected. Instead of a towering home, she saw a small, simple house with chipped paint and a crooked roof. The garden was overgrown, and a single swing creaked in the breeze. The streets were quiet, almost too quiet, and there was no sign of the human who was supposed to receive her. The alien bride felt a chill run through her, but she forced herself to walk forward. Her mission was clear, and failure was not an option. Inside the house, a boy watched from the window. His small body rested in a worn wheelchair, and his eyes were wide with curiosity and caution. He had never seen anyone like her. A glowing aura surrounded her, and strange patterns shimmered across her skin. She was beautiful and frightening all at once. He wanted to run, but something about her presence made him stay. The alien bride hesitated at the door. Unsure if she should knock, she finally raised her hand and tapped gently. The boy watched her, holding his breath, and the door creaked open slowly. A woman appeared, clearly the boy's mother, and she stared at the alien with shock and fear. I think there's been a mistake," she whispered, her hands trembling. "She's not mine." The alien bride tilted her head, her eyes searching for understanding. She had been sent here by the wrong human. But now that she was here, she felt a strange pull toward this quiet, fragile family. The boy wheeled himself closer, his movements slow and careful. He stared at her with a mixture of fear and wonder, and she saw something in his eyes that tugged at her heart. He was alone, lonely, and the alien bride realized that maybe her mission had a new meaning. For hours, she tried to communicate with them, using gestures, simple words, and alien symbols. The boy watched her carefully, mimicking her gestures, and slowly, they began to understand each other. A connection formed in silence, a bond that neither of them could explain. Outside, the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the small house. The alien bride knew she should leave, that the humans who had sent her would come looking soon, but something held her back. Something in the boy's eyes, the way he hesitated but did not run, made her stay. That night, as the house grew quiet, the boy spoke softly. You won't leave me, will you?" His voice was small, fragile, but full of hope. The alien bride knelt beside him, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. I will stay," she whispered in a voice that was both human and alien. For the first time in her life, she felt a strange warmth, a feeling she had only read about in old human stories. Love, protection, and purpose all mingled inside her. She knew that staying here, with this boy, was not what she had been sent to do, but it felt right. Days passed, and the alien bride began to learn about the boy's life. His world was small, filled with challenges that most humans never saw, but he was brave, in his own quiet way, and she began to admire him, to care for him, more than she ever expected. There were moments of tension, small fears that crept into their lives. The mother worried about the consequences of keeping the alien here. Neighbors whispered about strange sightings in the sky, and the boy feared being left alone. But through it all, the alien bride and the boy found a rhythm, a silent understanding that gave them both courage. One evening, as she watched him play quietly in his room, the alien bride realized something profound. She had been misdelivered, sent to the wrong human. But maybe this mistake was the most important thing that had ever happened to her. She had found someone who needed her, someone whose life she could change forever, and for the first time, she smiled, not the polite smile of a mission fulfilled, but a real heartfelt smile. She looked at the boy, who returned it with a small, shy grin, and in that moment, the alien bride understood that their story had just begun. A misdelivery had led to a miracle, and nothing would ever be the same again. The next morning, the alien bride awoke to the soft light filtering through the small window. She watched the boy moving slowly in his wheelchair across the room. His eyes were alert, curious, as if he wanted to study every detail about her. She felt a strange warmth, a pull she could not explain, and it made her heart beat faster. For hours, they sat together, not speaking much, but communicating in gestures and small sounds. The alien bride showed him how to make a glowing symbol appear in the air, and the boy's eyes lit up with wonder. He laughed quietly, a sound so rare and precious that it echoed in her memory long after it faded. She realized that communication did not need words, that even small gestures, shared glances, and tiny acts of care could build a connection stronger than any spoken language. The boy hesitated at first, unsure of how much to trust her, but slowly he leaned closer, letting her help him with small tasks, and the alien bride felt a sense of purpose she had never known. Outside, the world continued as usual, but inside the small house, something extraordinary was happening. A bond was forming that was invisible to anyone else. The mother watched from the corner, uncertain, yet curious. She saw the boy smile for the first time in years, and she wondered if the alien bride could really stay. The alien bride had questions too, about the boy, about this place, and about herself. She wanted to know why she felt so drawn to him, why her heart ached when he struggled. She realized slowly that she had been sent here for a mission, but now her mission had changed. It was no longer about orders or duty. It was about this boy, this fragile human who needed her. Days passed, and they learned from each other. The boy taught her small tricks of his world, how to use a wheelchair to move quickly down a hallway, how to open a heavy door with a clever tilt, and how to hide a secret smile when someone was watching. In return, the alien bride taught him how to create light from nothing, how to sense small changes in the air, and how to trust his instincts. Every day brought new surprises, new moments of quiet joy, yet there was always a tension lingering in the air. The alien bride knew that the humans who had sent her would come, and the boy feared that she would leave when they arrived. One evening, she overheard the mother whispering on the phone about a strange visitor approaching, and a chill ran through her. The boy noticed her expression and reached out, his small hand brushing hers, and she felt a surge of protectiveness. "I will stay," she said softly, her voice almost trembling. "I will not leave you." The boy's eyes widened, and for the first time, he truly believed her. That night, they shared a quiet moment under the stars. The alien bride projected tiny lights into the sky, forming patterns that danced above them. The boy laughed quietly, pointing at the glowing shapes. "It's beautiful," he whispered, and she felt a tear form in her eye. But the peace could not last forever. The alien bride sensed movement outside, and shadows creeping near the house hinted at danger. She did not know if it was the real master coming or something else entirely. Yet she felt no fear, only determination. She would protect this boy, no matter the cost. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, not just as protector and protected, but as companions, friends, and perhaps something more. The boy confided small secrets, dreams he had never shared with anyone, and she listened, learning the rhythm of his heart. His bravery inspired her, and she realized that she was learning from him as much as he was learning from her. The alien bride had arrived by mistake, delivered to the wrong house, but now she understood that fate had a strange way of guiding her. She had been sent to one place, but found herself exactly where she needed to be, and in this quiet home, with this fragile boy, she began to see a new future, full of possibilities, hope, and courage. As the moon rose over the small house, casting silver light across the garden, the alien bride and the boy sat together, hands lightly touching, hearts quietly entwined. A misdelivery had created an unexpected connection, one that would change both of their lives forever, and in the stillness of the night, they both knew that the real story was only beginning. The morning sun streamed weakly through the small window, casting long shadows across the floor. The alien bride moved quietly, watching the boy as he tried to reach for a book on a high shelf. She lifted him gently, her hands steady, and placed the book in his lap. He smiled faintly, but there was tension in the air, a feeling that something was coming. Then the doorbell rang sharply, breaking the calm. The boy froze, his small hands gripping the wheelchair. The alien bride felt a strange ripple in the air, a warning from her alien senses. Whoever was at the door was not here for a friendly visit. The mother peeked through the window and gasped softly. "It's him, the real master," she whispered, her voice trembling. The alien bride's mind raced. She had been trained to follow orders, to obey without question, but her heart tugged her in a different direction. She looked at the boy, his eyes wide with fear and hope, and made a decision she had never made before. She would protect him, even if it meant defying her own mission. The door opened slowly, and a tall human stepped inside, his expression cold and commanding. "You do not belong here," he said firmly, his eyes scanning the room. "You were sent to my household, not this one." The alien bride held herself tall, her glowing aura flaring slightly. "I am here now," she said, her voice calm but firm, "and I will not leave." The boy's eyes filled with worry, but he did not speak. He trusted her, and that trust gave her strength. The human master stepped closer, his movements sharp, threatening, and the alien bride sensed the tension rising. She could feel the boy trembling beside her, and she placed a protective hand over his shoulder. "You cannot take him from me," she said firmly, her alien power humming beneath her skin. A struggle began, not just of strength, but of wills. The master tried to assert control, but the alien bride moved with precision, shielding the boy at every turn. Her alien abilities allowed her to sense his moves before they happened, yet she restrained herself from hurting him. She wanted to protect, not destroy. The boy watched, eyes wide, his heart pounding. He realized in that moment that the alien bride was different from anyone he had ever known. She was brave, clever, and willing to fight for him, even against those she was sent to obey. That realization filled him with hope and courage, and he whispered softly, I believe in you." The struggle escalated, but the alien bride found a clever solution. She used her abilities to create a small barrier around the boy. Shimmering and bright, the master tried to push through, but the barrier held, forcing him to step back. The alien bride's heart raced, knowing that this was only the beginning of the challenges they would face. Outside, shadows shifted, hinting at others who might come to intervene. The boy wheeled himself closer, leaning against her carefully. "We can do this. Together," he said softly, and she felt a surge of determination. They were a team now, united by circumstance, trust, and the bond that had formed over days of quiet connection. Hours passed in tense standoff, neither side willing to yield. The alien bride used every ounce of her training, every skill she had, to keep the boy safe. She explained quietly to him, "Stay close, trust me," and he nodded. Gripping her hand tightly, they moved in sync, anticipating threats before they arrived, and a strange calm settled over them. Finally, the master realized he could not break their connection. His orders, authority, and threats meant nothing against the invisible bond between the alien bride and the boy. With a frustrated glare, he stepped back, but his eyes promised he would return. That promise hung heavy in the air, a warning of future challenges. After he left, silence returned to the small house, but the tension lingered. The alien bride knelt beside the boy, brushing a stray strand of hair from his forehead. "Are you hurt?" she asked softly. Her hands shook slightly, but her heart was steady. Filled with determination to keep him safe, the boy shook his head. I'm okay," he whispered, his voice small but brave. "Because you're here," she smiled, the glow of her aura softening. She had faced the first real test of her mission, and she had chosen him over obedience, over orders, over fear. She realized then that her true purpose was no longer what she had been sent to do, but what she had chosen to do. As the sun set, casting long golden beams across the small house, the alien bride and the boy sat together, hands entwined, hearts beating as one. They had faced conflict and danger, but they had survived, and a bond stronger than fear had formed. A misdelivered mission had led to a choice, and a choice had created a miracle. And in the quiet of the evening, with the boy leaning gently against her, the alien bride understood clearly this was only the beginning of the challenges, and she was ready to face them all, for him, for them, and for the bond that neither time nor danger could break. The days that followed were quieter, but the tension never fully left the small house. The alien bride and the boy moved together in an unspoken rhythm. She helped him with small tasks, taught him ways to make life easier despite his disability, and slowly, he began to trust her completely. The boy showed her his favorite spots in the small house, the window where sunlight fell just right, the shelf where he kept old trinkets, and the little garden outside. Over time, she learned how to laugh quietly with him, how to make small games out of simple tasks, and how to turn even ordinary moments into magic. She introduced him to small alien tricks, things she had learned on her world, simple lights that danced in the air, a gentle warmth that eased his pains, tiny tools that helped him reach places he could not before. The boy's eyes sparkled with amazement, and a shy laugh escaped his lips, so rare and precious that it made her heart swell. As their bond deepened, they shared stories, dreams, and fears. The boy spoke of his loneliness, of nights spent wishing someone would understand him. The alien bride shared memories of her own world, of missions and rules, of a life that had been empty until now. They learned from each other, growing together in ways neither expected. The mother watched quietly, her worries softening. She had feared the alien bride at first, but now she saw the change in her son. She saw the joy returning to his eyes, the courage returning to his heart, and she realized that the alien bride had become more than a visitor. She had become family. Yet life was not without its challenges. Outside forces still lurked. Rumors of strange sightings in the sky reached the small town, and the human master who had come before might return at any time. The alien bride knew that danger was never far, and she prepared the boy quietly, teaching him how to stay calm, how to trust their instincts, how to work together. One afternoon, while they sat in the garden, the boy asked softly, "Will they take you away?" His voice was small, fragile, but filled with fear. The alien bride placed her hands on his shoulders, looking into his eyes. "No," she said firmly, "I will not leave you, and no one can take me from here without facing me first." They began to experiment with the alien technology she carried, finding ways to make the boy's life easier. Little machines that could help him move faster, tools that made simple chores easier, and devices that let him explore beyond the small house safely. The boy's confidence grew, and he began to feel like he belonged to the world again. As they worked together, their connection deepened in ways words could not describe. They shared quiet glances, gentle touches, and small moments of laughter that made the house feel alive. The alien bride realized that her mission had shifted completely. She was no longer a servant or a visitor. She was a protector, a teacher, and a friend. One evening, the boy pointed at the sky. "Do you think someone is watching us?" he asked nervously. The alien bride smiled softly. "Perhaps," she said, "but we are ready for whatever comes." They held hands, drawing strength from each other, their bond forming a shield, stronger than any barrier. Even in moments of danger or doubt, they found courage together. The alien bride encouraged him to face small fears, climb small challenges, and believe in his own strength. The boy's laughter returned more often, brighter and more confident, and the alien bride felt a joy she had never known. Through their growing bond, they became a team, learning from each other and protecting each other. The misdelivery that had brought her here no longer felt like a mistake. It was a gift, a chance to be part of something real, something meaningful, something that could change a life forever. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the garden, the alien bride and the boy sat side by side, watching the sky filled with stars. She projected tiny lights among them, making the night shimmer like their own private galaxy. And in that quiet, magical moment, they both knew that whatever challenges came next, they would face them together. A misdelivered alien bride and a crippled boy had found each other. Their bond had grown stronger than fear, stronger than rules, stronger than destiny itself. And as night fell over the small house, one thing was certain: their story was far from over, and the miracle of their connection would guide them through whatever lay ahead. The morning air was crisp, but the small house carried a tension that could not be ignored. The alien bride sensed movement beyond the garden, shadows flickering along the edges of the property. The boy noticed her alert stance and felt his heart race. He trusted her completely now, but fear still lingered in the corners of his mind. Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared at the gate, the human master who had once tried to take the alien bride away. His expression was sharper this time, anger and authority mixing together. "You do not belong here," he barked. "You were sent to me, not this boy." The alien bride stepped in front of the boy, her aura glowing with calm strength. "He is not yours to claim," she said firmly, her voice carrying a weight that made the master pause. The boy watched silently, gripping her hand, his trust in her giving him courage. He had learned from her, grown stronger because of her, and he understood that she would protect him no matter what. The master tried to approach, but the alien bride raised a hand, forming a shimmering barrier that surrounded them both. The energy crackled softly, warning of the power she could unleash. "You cannot stop me," the master hissed, stepping forward with determination. But the alien bride smiled faintly. "I do not wish to hurt you," she said, "but I will not allow anyone to take him from here." She moved gracefully, guiding the boy behind her, their movements synchronized, as if they had been training together for years. Outside, the wind shifted, and the master realized that brute force would not work against the bond they shared. The alien bride had grown stronger, not just in power, but in heart. Her connection with the boy created a force that could not be broken by threats or authority. He stepped back, realizing for the first time that this bond was unshakable. The boy, feeling braver than ever, spoke up softly. "He cannot take you away, because you belong here with me." His words were small, but filled with determination, and they carried the truth that strengthened the alien bride's resolve. She bent slightly, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. "We are together," she whispered, "and together, nothing can break us." The master finally nodded, a mix of frustration and respect in his eyes. He had come to claim what was rightfully his, but now he understood that some bonds could not be ordered or commanded. They existed beyond rules, beyond fear, beyond authority, and he stepped away, leaving the small house in quiet surrender. The tension lifted, and the alien bride let out a breath she had been holding. The boy leaned against her, a smile spreading across his face, the first genuine, carefree smile she had seen in him for years. She returned it with warmth, feeling a joy that was deeper than anything she had ever known. Days passed, and life settled into a peaceful rhythm. The alien bride taught the boy more about her world, showing him wonders that no human child had ever imagined. Lights that danced in the air, devices that made impossible tasks simple, and ways to see the universe in a new way. The boy's confidence grew with each passing day, his laughter ringing through the house like music. The mother watched them, tears in her eyes, seeing the transformation in her son. The boy who had once been quiet, fragile and fearful was now vibrant, courageous, and full of hope. And the alien bride, who had arrived by mistake, found her purpose and her heart completely intertwined with his life. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the distant hills, the alien bride and the boy sat in the garden, surrounded by tiny glowing lights she had created. They looked at the stars together, silent but connected, sharing a moment that spoke of love, trust, and destiny. She realized then that the misdelivery had not been a mistake at all. It had been fate, guiding her to the boy who had changed her heart forever. The boy whispered softly, "I'm happy you stayed." His voice was small, but full of certainty. She placed her hand over his. "I will always stay," she said, her eyes glowing faintly with emotion, "because this is where I belong, with you." And in that quiet, magical moment, the miracle was complete. A misdelivered alien bride had become a protector, a friend, and a family. A crippled boy had found courage, hope, and love, and together they had created a bond stronger than any challenge, any mission, or any order. The stars shone brightly above, as if celebrating their connection, and the alien bride and the boy knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together, for their bond was real, unbreakable, and eternal. And so, the story that began with a mistake ended with a miracle. A misdelivery had brought them together, but love, trust, and courage had kept them there, and the universe itself seemed to pause and witness the beginning of something extraordinary. The alien bride smiled, the boy laughed, and the small house glowed with warmth. A story of destiny, bravery, and the power of connection had reached its first, beautiful conclusion. And yet, even as night fell, they both knew that this was only the start of their adventures together.